My loving audience take my love and subscribes my channel. And dive B&B stories. Was this really just a simple mistake fueled by a few too many drinks? Or are we looking at something way deeper? I'm talking about a calculated subconscious act of self-sabotage that could literally end the Forrester dynasty as we know it. We've seen Steffy Forrester face off against literal lions in the past. But has she finally met a predator she can't outrun in her own reflection? And then there's Carter Walton. Is it just me? Or does this man have some kind of love curse that turns every romantic gesture into a tragic finale? The real question we have to ask ourselves isn't just what they did that night in the dark. It's why they let it happen when they both had absolutely everything to lose. To really get what happened, we have to look at how this fuse was lit. Steffy didn't just walk away from Finn in Monaco. She basically ripped her heart out and left it on the beach right next to her wedding ring. Finding out that Finn kept Sheila Carter's presence on his flight a secret wasn't just a lie to her. For Steffy, it was a fundamental betrayal of the safety he promised to provide. Think about it. This wasn't a rational breakup. It was a trauma-induced flight response. Steffy has been shot, stalked, and nearly killed by Sheila. So when Finn showed even a tiny bit of understanding for his birth mother, Steffy's psychological barriers just totally collapsed. She didn't just fly home to escape. She retreated into a bottle, looking for a numbness that her reality couldn't offer her anymore. Now, while Steffy was spiraling in the sky, Carter was hitting his own version of rock bottom back on the ground. His wife Daphne didn't just leave him. She basically told him their entire love was a mistake, because she couldn't give him the family he's always wanted. Carter's trauma goes back years. He's always been the second choice or the jilted groom. When Daphne handed back that ring, it wasn't just a divorce for him. It was a confirmation of his deepest fear, that he is fundamentally unlovable for the long haul. Both of these people were, as the spoilers say, drunker than a skunk, and emotionally hollowed out when they crashed into each other in that CEO office. But why did this have to happen in the Forrester office of all places? Well, think about it. That office is the seat of power for the whole family. It's the one place where Steffy usually feels like she's invincible. By bringing her pain and her booze into that sanctuary, she was basically trashing the one place she felt in control. Carter is the same way. He uses his work as a shield. When both of those shields failed, they didn't see a coworker anymore. They saw a life raft. They weren't looking for a new romance. They were looking for a temporary way to stop feeling the suffocating weight of their failed marriages. If you look at how Steffy is feeling internally, she has to be screaming. She's always called herself the strongest person in the relationship, but that strength is a really heavy mask to wear. There's a hidden exhaustion in her. She's tired of fighting Sheila, she's tired of fighting for her marriage, and maybe she's even tired of fighting her own history with addiction. Carter is feeling something different but just as bad. He's feeling inadequate. He offered Daphne everything, and she told him it wasn't enough because of something she couldn't control. He wasn't just drinking whiskey that night. He was drinking a cocktail of rejection and loneliness. I see this whole thing as a mutual destruction pact. By sleeping together, they didn't just comfort each other. They made sure that if they ever went back to their spouses, they'd be carrying a secret that acts like a slow-acting poison. It's a really interesting angle to think about. Usually we think of cheating as looking for something better, but for Steffy and Carter, it felt more like a way to burn the bridges they were too scared to cross while they were sober. They traded their integrity for just a few hours of artificial peace. Honestly, I think Steffy is being a huge hypocrite here, even if it is a very human mistake. She's basically crucifying Finn for a secret about his own mother, which is a mess he didn't even create. Meanwhile, she's out here creating a massive sexual secret that she had 100% control over. I don't really buy the idea that this was just the alcohol talking. Alcohol doesn't just make up new desires. It just stops you from being afraid to act on them. Part of Steffy probably wanted to hurt Finn back, and Carter just wanted to feel like a man who could actually connect with someone, even if it was only for one night. From a psychological perspective, this is a textbook case of revenge displacement. Steffy can't really hurt Sheila, and she's too tired to keep fighting Finn, so she hurts the marriage itself to show she's still in charge. Her ego needs her to be the one who leaves, not the one who gets betrayed. And for Carter, this looks like repetition compulsion all over again. He seems addicted to the high-stakes drama of love that isn't allowed. He feels most alive when things are doomed to fail because it matches his internal belief that he just doesn't deserve a stable, happy ending. Now the tension isn't just about what happened, it's about who saw it. While Steffy and Carter are probably trying to scrub the shame off in the morning light, Sheila Carter is lurking right there in the shadows. She didn't just overhear a little gossip. She found the nuclear codes for the whole Forrester family. She's actually delighted because this secret makes everyone even. If Steffy is a cheater, then Finn's lies about Sheila don't look nearly as bad. I'm predicting that Sheila isn't going to just blurt this out right away. That's way too simple for someone like her. She's going to hold on to this weapon until Finn and Steffy are at their most vulnerable. Maybe she'll wait for a vow renewal or a big family party, and then drop the bomb to make sure it causes as much damage as possible. She wants to push Finn away from his wife and make him more dependent on his mom. The real baby bombshell, here is what everyone is really waiting for. Remember, Daphne left Carter because she couldn't have kids, but we know Steffy is fertile. If Steffy ends up pregnant with Carter's baby, it's game over for Sinn. Finn might be able to forgive a one-night stand if he's desperate, but how can he look at a child that is a permanent reminder of the night his wife gave up on him? This would also put Carter in a crazy ethical spot. He wants to be a father more than anything in the world. Would he stay quiet to protect Steffy's marriage, or would he claim his only real chance at having a family, even if it blows up the Forresters forever? I have a feeling his need for a legacy is going to win out over his loyalty to the company in the end. The funny thing is, looking back at Steffy's history, she's done this before. Both of her kids have already needed DNA tests because she was cheating or wasn't sure who the father was. Is she just doomed to repeat this cycle forever? Some fans are already saying they've had enough of this dumb writing, and that it's starting to feel like a comedy instead of a drama. But you have to admit, it keeps us watching. It's like a train wreck that you just can't look away from. Think about the position Finn is in right now. He's on a plane racing back to LA, thinking he's the villain who has to earn his way back into Steffy's good graces. He has no clue that while he's feeling guilty, his wife was busy breaking her vows with one of his friends. If he finds out the truth from Sheila instead of Steffy, it's going to be so much harder for him to ignore. The betrayal will feel twice as bad because it's wrapped in another lie. And then there's Ridge. He's absolutely furious with Finn right now. He's blaming Finn for Steffy's disappearance and for bringing Sheila back into their lives. He even told Finn to his face that Lee is his real mother and that he needs to stop defending Sheila. But how is Ridge going to react when he finds out his precious daughter, the one he's defending so fiercely, was the one who actually crossed the line into cheating? It's going to be a total mess at Forrester Creations. What do you think? Is Steffy a total hypocrite for what she did? Or is she just a broken woman who finally snapped under all the pressure? And what about Carter? Is he taking advantage of someone who's grieving? Or is he just another victim of his own loneliness? This storyline is an absolute mess, and I honestly can't wait to see how Sheila uses this to her advantage. If you want to stay on top of all the DNA tests, the office secrets, and whatever Sheila is planning next, you know what to do. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. And seriously, let me know in the comments, are you still Team Sinn? Or are you ready to see everything burn down? Thanks for hanging out with me for this deep dive. And I'll catch you in the next one where we'll see if the truth finally comes out. Let's look a little deeper at the Carter love curse, because it's actually kind of wild when you list it all out. This guy showed up in LA back in 2013 as a sharp attorney who basically wore his heart on his sleeve. And ever since then, the show has been finding new ways to stomp on it. He fell for Maya, but she dumped him for Rick. He got engaged to Zoe, but she was busy falling for his best friend Sinn, while they were supposed to be picking out centerpieces. Then there was the whole mess with Quinn, which blew up 2 engagements and made him the guy everyone blamed instead of the guy everyone comforted. And who could forget Paris? She literally left him at the altar because Quinn crashed the wedding to say she loved him right in the middle of the vows. Even his relationship with Katie Logan just fizzled out without much of an explanation. And then there's Hope. He finally got her to say yes, and then Liam fakes a brain tumor and she runs right back to her ex. It's like the writers are contractually obligated to make sure Carter never wins for more than 5 minutes. So when he married Daphne and they started painting a nursery and picking out cribs, we all thought, okay, finally he gets a win. But no, the universe had other plans. Daphne gets a diagnosis that means she can't have a baby, And instead of working through it with him, she decides their whole marriage was a mistake and heads back to Paris. So you see him standing there in his office, watching his wife walk away while he's literally begging her to stay. And it's just heartbreaking. He's telling her he doesn't care about the diagnosis and that they can find other ways to have a family, but she won't even listen. That's the moment he picks up that whiskey bottle. He's hitting rock bottom for the 11th time, and you can almost feel his exhaustion with the whole thing. And that's exactly when Steffy stumbles in. She's just as broken as he is. She's spent an entire international flight drinking herself into a coma because she thinks her life is over. When they see each other, it's not two people looking for a hookup. It's two people who have been beaten down by life so many times they just want the world to stop for a minute. Some fans are saying this is character assassination for Carter, but if you think about it, it actually makes sense for where he's at. He's smart, he's loyal, and he's always putting everyone else's happiness first, and it has gotten him nowhere. In that moment with Steffy, maybe he just decided to stop being the good guy for once. Now let's talk about the Sheila of it all. This woman is a professional at finding people's weak spots. She overhearing that conversation between Steffy and Carter is like her winning the lottery. She realizes right away that this isn't just gossip. It's a weapon. She can use this to prove to Finn that Steffy isn't the saint he thinks she is. She can tell him, "Look, while you were trying to fix things, your wife was already in another man's bed." It gives her a way to finally push Finn away from the Forresters and get him back into her world. The psychological power dynamic here is crazy. Steffy thinks she's the one holding the moral high ground because of Finn's lie, but Sheila just pulled the rug out from under her. And Steffy doesn't even know it yet. She's going to go through the next few days thinking her secret is safe, while Sheila is basically holding the detonator to her entire life. It makes Steffy completely vulnerable, and she has no idea she needs to be on guard. What's even more twisted is how Finn is going to handle this. He's a doctor, he's a good man, and he's head over heels for his wife. He's going to be pouring his heart out, asking for forgiveness, and making all these promises about the future. And Steffy is just going to sit there and let him, all while she's hiding the fact that she cheated on him. Can you imagine how that's going to feel for her? Every time he says, "I love you," it's going to feel like a knife because she knows she doesn't deserve it in that moment. And we have to talk about the Ridge and Finn confrontation. Ridge was absolutely brutal to him. He basically told him he's responsible for Steffy's pain because he won't let go of Sheila. Ridge doesn't want to hear anything about Sheila being Finn's birth mother. He's protecting his daughter with everything he's got. But what happens when the truth comes out? Ridge has a history of being married about 1 billion times himself, so he's not exactly a saint when it comes to relationships. But he always lands on his feet with women lined up to give him another shot. He's probably going to try to blame Carter or the alcohol or anything other than his daughter. The whole situation with the younger crowd, Will, Elektra, Dylan and RJ, is just adding more fuel to the fire. Elektra is out here throwing her Forrester name around and threatening people's jobs. It just shows that the Forrester ego is alive and well in the next generation too. It's that same sense of entitlement that Steffy has, where she thinks she can do whatever she wants and then hide behind her family name when things get messy. So here's the big debate. If Steffy does get pregnant, and it is Carter's baby, what does that child's life look like? They'd be a Forrester and a Walton, but they'd also be the physical proof of a massive betrayal. We've seen how these Who's the Daddy stories go on this show, and they always end in disaster. Is the show just being lazy with the writing? Or is this the kind of drama we secretly love? Some fans are already threatening to stop watching if they go through with another DNA test storyline. But let's be real, we're all going to be glued to the screen when that test result gets opened. The Sinn fans are definitely going through it right now. They've supported this couple through everything, even flying banners over the studio to celebrate their 4-year anniversary. To see them broken up like this and with a cheating scandal on top of it has to be devastating for that fan base. They wanted to see Steffy and Finn be the stable super couple, but the writers just can't seem to let that happen. In the end, it all comes back to Sheila Carter. She is the shadow hanging over every single person in this story. She's the reason Steffy left Monaco. She's the reason Finn is in the doghouse. And now she's the one holding the secret that could destroy it all. It's almost like she didn't even have to do anything this time. She just waited for them to destroy themselves, and then she walked in to pick up the pieces. So, do you think Steffy will confess before Sheila gets a chance to tell Finn? Or is she going to try to bury this forever? And what about Carter? Is he going to stand by Steffy? Or is his conscience going to get the better of him? There are so many ways this could go wrong, and honestly every single one of them is going to be amazing to watch. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss a single update on this Forrester fallout. This is the kind of drama that only the bold and the beautiful can deliver, and we are here for every second of it. So let's wrap this up with a few big questions for you guys to chew on. Is there any way for Finn and Steffy to survive this? Can a marriage really come back from this kind of double betrayal? And what about Carter and Daphne? Is their marriage really over? Or could they find a way back if they both told the truth? And finally, what is Sheila's endgame here? Does she just want to see Finn? Or does she want to destroy the Forresters entirely? Let me know your theories in the comments. I read every single one of them, and I love seeing what you guys think is going to happen next. This show has been on for decades and they still find ways to keep us guessing, which is pretty incredible when you think about it. Make sure you're liked and subscribed so you don't miss our next breakdown. We're going to be watching every episode, every teaser, and every spoiler to make sure you have the full story. Thanks for being part of the community, and we'll see you in the next video for more bold and the beautiful drama. One more thing before I go, we have to talk about the baby Bombshell possibility one more time because it really is the biggest potential game changer. If Steffy is pregnant, and the timeline matches up with both Finn and Carter, we are looking at another DNA test. We've seen this movie before, and it always leads to months of tension and eventually a shocking revelation. But what if Sheila is the one who finds out about the pregnancy first? She could use that to manipulate the results just like we've seen people do in the past. Sheila with her hands on a paternity test is a recipe for absolute disaster. And can we just take a second to appreciate the acting? Jacqueline MacInnes Wood and Lawrence St. Victor are giving it their all in these scenes. You can really feel the weight of their characters' history in every look and every line of dialogue. They're making a storyline that some people might call dumb feel very real and very painful. That's the power of a great cast. They can take even the craziest soap tropes and make you feel something for the people involved. Alright, I'm actually going this time. But seriously, keep the conversation going in the comments. I'll be down there chatting with you guys and seeing who has the best predictions for next week. Will it be a killer passion week like the previews say? I have a feeling it's going to be even more than that. Stay bold, stay beautiful, and we'll see you soon. Wait, I just thought of one more thing. What about the role of the Logan sisters in all this? Katie is already suspicious of Dylan, and Brooke is always ready to pounce if Steffy makes a mistake. If they find out about the tryst, they're going to use it as ammunition in the ongoing Forrester-Logan war. It's never just about one couple on this show. It's about how it affects the whole social fabric of the city. Okay, now I'm really done. See you in the comments.